Alright, hello, what's going on there, internet? Alright, I am back here with another video. This one, I'm going to try doing an unboxing here, because it's just a hilt, so, I am going to, get electronics in it and, test it out at the end. But, it's just a hilt, so I figure we can easily get this, do an unboxing here on my desk. It is the Saberforge Eco Bastion Mark II. I've been looking at their hilts for a while, and I probably, like, I don't know, many other people, if you've been looking some of this stuff up, you've heard about them, probably heard like a number of mixed reviews and such. So we're gonna see, but their hilts and their sabers look pretty cool. So I wanted to check them out. I I have been waiting a little while for this. This thing has been like in New Jersey for the past week, not really moving, so that's kind of a bummer. But I mean, had it arrived when it said it was supposed to, I mean, I would have said the shipping was okay. It just is what it is. It just kind of like, it's really hard to separate the experience, even though it's like, USPS has nothing to do with this company. And, I just think in future, if I'm ordering from them, I'm going to have to, whatchamacallit, maybe request different shipping service, because USPS in New Jersey is just been god awful. Okay, I had another package that came through this same ground advantage service, and it just okay. Alrighty, and it was late as well. Not this late, but it was late. Alright, let's get the bubble wrap out of the way. And I got the weathered. So we'll get to see this guy in a sec. I'll kind of explain, I guess, why I went for it, and I think it should be good for, why I was into it. Ooh, okay. Alright. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Oh, looks like there's a blade plug in it as well. I'm just taking a look. I do like the finish on it. I really do, I like the way it kind of like looks worn on these edges here. See, my idea with these is I thought that they had the I thought that there was 2 retention screws here, which I've seen on some of their sabers, which is my preference. Now this only has 1, and that is not my preference. But yeah, I've seen on their other sabers how I mean, I can add 1, which I probably will do. But yeah. Alright, so let's just take a look here. Yeah, so that looks pretty cool. See, what I was, and what I'm into mostly, I mean, I'm big into the sound and stuff like that. So, when I see a pommel like this that is venting on the sides, on the bottom, all over the place, that's really what I'm into. And this one it's pretty nice. The only thing I would say is I wouldn't necessarily condense this, but it might help with the balance. So, everything is give and take. As long as this is like an inch. Oh yeah, that's perfect. So the speaker will fit in here, and that's my biggest concern. So as long as that fits in there, and it doesn't actually get stuck or anything like that. But that's a really nice finish on it. I'm gonna have to see how it feels with that. If I might add another screw or not. Only 1 screw for the core, which is interesting, because LGT cores tend to go for 2 screws. Wait a minute, does this not separate? Like, is that not an emitter? Or am I just... It should. Yeah. Let's get rid of those. Oh, come on, man. Was shit getting, like, coming stuck together? There's no way that this. Yeah, no, that's got to be. Okay, so we're back. So I continue to struggle with trying to get these pieces separated. Totally convinced in my mind that what I had here was a modular hilt. I just nothing led me led me to believe otherwise. So I definitely put a little bit of work into it. But to be honest with you, it looks kind of cool. So I don't mind. I actually did manage to churn it though, because that was lined up when I got it. I thought maybe it wasn't, but when I checked you'll see in the video that just came before it's lined up properly when I got it. So, um, you know, but I did actually manage to, I guess, give it a little bit of a churn. Um, but here's the deal: this is not modular. When you buy their pre-constructed hilts, as a set, it's going to come here at this joint. It's going to come glued, and the pommel, as usual, is going to come off, and you can do that. So that's new to me, and it's not clear from their listings that this is the case. So, I did talk to them about it, and they said they're gonna look at that and um, you know put that make that more forward. But the thing is if you do want something modular, I mean, they do have the parts. I think that's like what got me like had me so convinced is because I saw that they had all the modular parts on their site for both like the elite and the apprentice. The apprentice is what I went for because it fits the LGT electronics that I'm very familiar with, and I really like them. So and I can get them at a relatively decent price, so that works for me. Um, so all in all, I mean, initially I was like kind of like really pissed that this thing was stuck together. Also, I had just had an LGT hilt not so long ago that I didn't think came apart because it wasn't but it turns out it actually did. I just had to like really churn it and it came apart. So there was just a lot of things in my mind that was leading me to just naturally believe that I could take this apart, and I tried way too hard. So, um, but that's all fine. If as long as it's came to me as it was supposed to, and this is like not a mess up or anything like that, then all right, we'll see what it's about. And so far so good with it. I mean, I do, in this case, I do because this is something that I wanted to, use a lot. I mean, it was definitely, it's gonna be for all the spinning and shit that I do. Um, yeah, I wanted something that was really durable and reliable, and that this definitely has going for it. I mean, it's a tank. Um, it's a little bit thicker than your standard LGT hilt. Um, so it has a bit of extra weight to it, which is fantastic. I love that. Um, this almost balances. I mean, it gets pretty close to it's got a pretty good balance point. For an out of the box hilt and a NeoPixel blade. So that's pretty good. I mean, if I were using a baselit blade, I'm gonna have to try that at some point, obviously, but I would probably have really great balance. Um, let's see. This emitter here. I mean, the reason that I kind of went for this is because I really like the look of the emitter, and it's also got like a really nice shape to it too. So I hold my sabers like around towards the balance point. I hold it up around here, and it's very comfortable. Like it really kind of fits into the contours of my hand, and it's not sharp. It is grippy. You do feel the texture. Um, it's grippy, bordering on uncomfortable. So which is kind of what you want. I mean, you do not want something this heavy slipping out of your hands. I've already had that happen. It's I throw them around, do all this, that, and the other thing. So occasionally, um, it's gonna fall out of your hand. But this one's pretty, it's pretty grippy. You know, it's really easy to move this one around and, you know, do what I want to do with it. Um, you know, and also everything with how I do, you know, the speaker. Well, you'll hear it, but I mean the 27 millimeter speaker. How I set that up with these, it fits in just perfect here, and it looks like there's just like enough little room in there where it's holding the speaker very well, but it's not like with the LGTs that I do. It leaves a gap. This one doesn't seem to be leaving a gap, so that's pretty cool. You know, it screws all the way down. Um, the one retention screw that I mentioned in, you know, the unboxing part, you know, it is normally my preference to have two, but so far so good with this. You know, I'm the only thing that I'm kind of noticing movement on is the TXQ blade that I have in here, which that's, you know, that's in the blade. That's not. This seems pretty secure. I'm not having any issues there, so you know. The pommel is great. I mean, it has like, you know, venting on the bottom there, on the sides there. So for sound, it's been, you know, pretty killer. I mean, it's really, you know, ticking almost all of the boxes. I mean, if not all of the boxes for, you know, what I'm looking for, you know, a hilt that does what I want it to do, that I can actually use, spin, throw around. You know, and so far, you know, with all the hits that it's taken, I do, you know, drop this on ground that's harder than I probably should be, you know, using these on, but I can barely see, you know, where where it took the hits. I mean, this is a really solid hill. That I'm very impressed with. I mean, I'm impressed with most of it. The only the only con that I have, other than just the confusion and just lack of clarity about, you know, how these are made, and, you know, everything that happened there. The only con that I have is going to be that one mounting screw for the core, because my experience is, it does do a lot for like the lifespan of the core to mount it with two screws. Just having that one, you know, you can really do a lot of damage, especially with what I do, because, you know, it can land on the pommel a lot, and those are the ones that just really. So that I could, you know, definitely. I would have to suggest improving that one. But everything else about it is great. You know, I could definitely work with that. Um, you know, and I had an idea about trying to do, you know, a staff with this, and, you know, with the powder coating and stuff that they had, because that looks pretty cool. But yeah, I would definitely be going for, you know, something else with this, because it feels great. Like just having that extra weight, and it's compact. Because where's this is. Okay. Yeah, this is the LGT that, you know, I had like weighted pretty well, you know, and it's already longer, but then, you know, the whole like pommel that is there. So I mean, it's a good few inches longer, you know, to get a good feel on that. But this one is pretty good out of the box. So yeah, I'm, you know, I'm pretty impressed by it. You know, had some issues, but, you know, some of them were my fault. The rest of them were, you know, kind of on USPS. I mean, to be fair to that situation, you know, the Saber did make its way from like Oregon all the way to, you know, New Jersey in a few days. It just stayed in New Jersey for, you know, so it's USPS in my state that's kind of, you know, screwing me over. Um, all right, so yeah, I mean, I'll definitely be looking at more of these. That's for sure. Um, you know, it feels really good. You know, just doing all the things I do, and I had a video on my channel where I was doing the backhand flips. I don't really have the room in my room to do it, but oh man, it just, it's really just easy to just flip and catch and do all that kind of stuff, and it sounds good. So I'm gonna go through the fonts that I have on here. I think I only have like 10 or so, but I just threw some of my, you know, favorite ones on. going to be exalted. Oh, and I should say that this is a Profi core. They don't have Profis on their site, but they have Xeno. I'm gonna shut this a little bit. I'm trying to maybe get a little dimmer for the blade. They have Golden Harvest and the Xeno like electronics. I've never tried Golden Harvest, but I'm a big fan of Profi, so you know, that's what I tend to go with.
Let me tell you of the days of high
Kind of tend to go with a mix of like grayscale stuff and some other fonts that I found a bunch of, like, I don't know, a couple guys making all these cool ones. That one was Coda, and this is Decimate. Oh, that's like one of my favorite accent strings. That's Doom. See, but that's kind of like why I prefer like the pommels like this, because of all this. You know, I'm moving it like this, and I've noticed on, like, if it's just on the bottom, you know, like you really notice that, and it in my mind it doesn't make sense the way it sort of like Dopplers the sound, because if you have it over your head like this, it makes it really quiet. You know, when the blade is like near you, and I don't know, it's just something that kind of irks me. You know, about how a lot of things tend to be. Also, another thing to note is that with the thicker hilt, the button is just a little more recessed, so I tend to hit it a lot less. That's, again, another positive on my end. Those grayscale fonts are just great.
Happy accidents.
Yeah, just a minute, all right? Just a minute.
Hello, I'm Bob Ross. Let's get started. Oops, right over into there. Take another 2-inch brush, I have several, and tap it. Really get in there and tap it. And tap it. And then lift upward. We'll wash that old brush off. Blue, brown, and crimson. Make a big pile of paint. We'll wash that old brush off. Thank you very much.
I love those fonts.
Prepare a boarding party.
That's just Vader.
Hurrah!
I notice I'm getting some flashes with this blade. That's not the core. That obviously it's not the hilt or anything like that. I think this blade's getting a little funny. I noticed a dead pixel somewhere around in there.
Scotus.
So I might have to, I don't know, open it up and see if it got a bit loose or something. Yeah, see, alright. I love this. This one has like one of my the favorite posts locks and. I love that sound. That one's Skodos. Yeah, these are two grayscale fonts that I actually paid for because I mean they're good sounds. I mean he makes good sounds. That's all I can say. I think that might be it. Yep. Yeah, that's gonna be it. Yeah, so I mean, it's 100% doing what I want it to do on sound. So yeah, like 100%. You know, the only one con that I have about this one is just that one issue with securing the cores in here. You know, So I just got to figure out something for these cores and make them a little bit tougher right there. But these are awesome. I mean, I love the look of it, the way the weathering looks, and just like the whole idea. I'm gonna have some leather on here, so it's gonna cover up that bit. But yeah, definitely, I'm definitely gonna be going with some more of these because I had it in my mind. If this was dope, I wanted to do like a staff setup with this, and it's definitely dope. I mean, so yeah, definitely gonna be keeping my eye on them, and hopefully I'll also have better blades by the time I do that because these TXQ ones. All right then. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap that up. So yeah, definitely a recommend for me. So yeah, just don't be like me. Don't get one. And if you can't take it apart, don't try and force the issue. You just ordered one that wasn't meant to be taken apart. If that's what you want, go in the pick the parts. Apparently, you can choose to not have the not take the assembly service, so you'll just receive your Saber in parts. Um, and the thing is too, the reason that was such a big deal for me is because I have my cores out of my Sabers quite often. And it's kind of difficult to get it, like lined up in there because once you put it in, the core is fully inside, so you don't really have much to go by. But I found if I just take like like my bit driver here, before I put it in, just get it close and then like kind of push behind. If I just wiggle it around a little bit, not too hard, it tends to slot in relatively easily. So long as I have like a reasonable solution for that, rather than fiddling with it, I'm fine with that. And I may actually consider not going with a modular setup because it feels really good, like as a solid piece. I'm really enjoying having that additional bit of extra confidence about it. And this is a freaking tank. I mean, so I like that too. So if I drop it, it's not it's not really worse for wear. So, anyways, that's enough out of me. So I appreciate you watching. I hope this was helpful. I do know Saberforge is a company that has had some mixed reviews about them. I've heard plenty, but they were pretty good with me, and also too the person that I spoke with, they were very helpful in giving me information, and because I was totally confused, by this. So, hopefully I helped you to know what the deal is. If you want something that's additionally rigid and whatnot, then order one of their prefabricated hilts. If you want the modular setup, pick your parts, do it that way. And if you want to build it, then check out the Elite stuff, which I may do down the line. But right now, I'm just looking for, some good flow. Why did I just do that? Like that makes sense to anyone. All right, I don't know how to wrap up videos, so I'm just gonna do it right there. Appreciate you watching. Again, hope I helped. All right, have a good one.